Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. I'm John Dickerson. We sat down with Donald Trump at his home in Palm Beach shortly before the polls closed last night. Mr. Trump, you're bringing a lot of new people into the Republican Party, but some people are saying they want to leave the Republican Party too. What's your message to those who want to leave? Is it good riddance?
Well, I think they shouldn't leave, and I think they should get together, and I think everybody should be unified. And frankly, we're building up numbers that are incredible within the Republican Party. You've been seeing whether it's South Carolina or New Hampshire. I mean, the numbers are astronomical, and I don't think they've ever seen anything like this, actually. And by the way, the Democrats are losing. The Democrats are going down 35–40%, and we're going up 50%, a couple of states over 100%.
What do you make of the effort to try and take the nomination away from you, maybe even by going to the convention?
Well, I'm very surprised by it, and I'm very surprised to hear about a third party, because I'm going to appoint conservative judges, and a third party would mean that Hillary would win or whoever is going to be running. And you're going to have liberal judges, probably as many as 4 or even 5, if you can believe that, during this period of time. So a third party means absolutely they will have 4 or 5 very liberal judges appointed, as opposed to 4 or 5 very conservative judges. So I think it's really playing with fire.
They say they can't be in a party with you as the head of it.
Well, I don't understand that. I mean, I get along with people. I'm a unifier. I'm very much a unifier, and maybe people don't see that, but they will see that. And my relationship to people has been great over the years. But again, I'm new to politics. I've been doing this now for 7 months. I think I've done a very good job in 7 months. But we have a tremendous number of people coming in and a tremendous number of people showing up to vote. The lines in all of these states that I've won have been, record-setting.
Let me ask you about Unifier. In this very room, your big night on Super Tuesday, you said about Paul Ryan that you'd hope to get along with him, but if you didn't, quote, he's going to have to pay a big price. You also said about John McCain, he has to be very careful. How can you be a unifier when you're saying those kind of things about 2 Republican leaders?
Well, with Paul Ryan, I think he would pay a big price, because I think you'd really have a split party. I think you'd have a very split party, and he's done a good job on unifying. I may be more conservative than him. I certainly am stronger on the border than him, but he's done a very good job. I was very much in favor of Paul Ryan, because I think he very much is a unifier. I mean, he was sort of chosen for that reason, I think.
A lot of people read that as a threat.
No, not a threat. Not a threat. It's not a threat.
Let me ask you about your position on torture. When you and I talked last week, you said that General Hayden was wrong when he said that the military wouldn't follow you on the question of waterboarding and on the killing of terrorist families. In the debate, you said, if I say do it, they're going to do it. You were talking about the military. Then on Friday, you said, I will not order our military to violate those laws.
Well, you never asked me about violating laws, in all fairness. You weren't talking about violating laws. I would say this, look, we have an enemy the Middle East that's chopping off heads and drowning people in massive steel cages, okay? We have an enemy that doesn't play by the laws. You could say laws, and they're laughing. They're laughing at us right now. I would like to strengthen the laws so that we can better compete. It's very tough to beat enemies that don't have any restrictions, all right? We have these massive restrictions. Now, I will always abide by the law, but I would like to have the law expanded. I would like to make... Well, I happen to think that when you're fighting an enemy that chops off heads, I happen to think that we should use something that's stronger than we have right now. Right now, basically, waterboarding is essentially not allowed, as I understand it.
And you'd like it to be if you could expand
I would certainly like it to be at a minimum, to allow that.
Why do you think we don't have those? Why do you think we don't have waterboarding?
Because I think we're weak. I think we've become very weak and ineffective. I think that's why we're not beating ISIS. It's that mentality.
But you think people got rid of the law to be weak?
No, I think that we are weak. I think we're weak. We cannot beat ISIS. We should beat ISIS very quickly. General Patton would have had ISIS down in about 3 days. General Douglas MacArthur. We are playing by a different set of rules. Let me just put it differently. When the ISIS people chop off the heads and they then go back to their homes and they talk, and they hear we're talking about waterboarding like it's the worst thing in the world, and they've just drowned 100 people and chopped off 50 heads, they must think we are a little bit on the weak side.
The reason that the waterboarding was a number of reasons, but one of them was because the worry was that if America does that, then our soldiers, American hostages, will be treated even worse. That's the argument. What do you think of that?
They're doing that anyway. They're killing our soldiers when they capture them. I mean, they're doing that anyway. Now, if that were the case, in other words, we won't do it and you don't do it, but we're not playing by those rules. They're not, why, did somebody tell ISIS, look, we're going to treat your guys well. Would you please do us a favor and treat our guys well? They don't do that. We're not playing by, we are playing by rules, but they have no rules. It's very hard to win when that's the case.
Is that what separates us from the savages?
No, I don't think so.
Rules.
No, we have to beat the savages.
And therefore throw all rules out?
We have to beat the savages.
By being savages?
No, well, look, you have to play the game the way they're playing the game. You're not going to win if we're soft and they have no rules. Now, I want to stay within the laws. I want to do all of that. But I think we have to increase the laws because the laws are not working. Obviously, all you have to do is take a look at what's going on. And they're getting worse. They're chopping, and we're worrying about waterboarding. I just think I think our priorities are mixed up.